My apologies for being late with this review, but with this upcoming week 6 actually not starting with Thursday night football, it kind of gives me some time to relax and kind of chill out a bit. Plus, week 5 kind of it had its headlines, its storylines. One big one was Alex Smith took the field for the first time in almost 2 years. That's always a great sight to see. I still remember, was it 2 Novembers ago, November 2018? Matter of fact, the exact anniversary of Joe Theismann's career injury, and he suffered an injury that was very threatening to his career, and I've read his life, but he made it. He's back. He made it back on the field against the Rams. So unfortunately, after that good heartfelt story, it was followed by some heartbreak. We all saw it. Dak Prescott. Of course, I watched this game on television, and I saw the injury. I just was just stunned and shocked. And of course, we all know about Prescott. Of course, he made headlines when he came public. He went public with his recent battles with depression following the tragic death of his brother, and we all felt for him, and we all praised him and his courage. Well, most of us did. A certain idiot on Fox Sports decided to mock him and tell him he should focus on football. There's a certain place in hell reserved for people like that. Um, and and, and and he took the field against the Giants in a very tight, close back and forth game, as most NFC East games are. Never mind how bad the division is. And we actually saw him score. We actually saw him score a receiving touchdown in a copycat of the Philly special, what we saw in Super Bowl 52 with Foles. So that was awesome. But then, unfortunately, of course, it was followed by the ankle injury. Just I've been a Dak Prescott supporter since he became a starter. Because once he got out there, I thought finally Dallas Cowboys actually have a quarterback after years of Romo's incompetence. And Dak was pretty much the guy. He's a good quarterback. He doesn't get the credit he should. He really doesn't. And it was other than his personal life, what he's dealt with personally, professionally, we all know that story too. He's under a franchise tag. Franchise tag is 1 year at a time, but you get like a big lump sum for that season. And I think it's like 30. I think it's around the neighborhood of 34, 35 million he's getting this year. And he suffered a terrible season-ending injury, and it has a lot of fans wondering: are the Cowboys actually gonna? I actually hate bringing that up, but I have to. Are the Cowboys actually gonna use this? Be that nutty enough to use this to not pay him after this season? And you got some pessimists saying they will, and Dak will probably end up somewhere else. Of course, that depends on how the season goes. If Dallas if Dallas struggles and actually misses the playoffs with Dak out for the season, then the check might be written and cut for a big term deal. If not, if they actually win the division with Dalton, I don't like Dak's chances. But of course, he's out of surgery. He's doing fine, but he's done for the year. And I just hate to say, you hate to see that happen to anybody. You hate to see that happen to anybody. Never mind who that person's playing for. Players from all sorts of different teams. and fans of different teams, even fans of rivals, and I'm one of them because the Packers, Cowboys, whatever. But my dad's a Cowboys fan, so I look at that. I don't look at that as a heated rivalry, and so of course we all wish him well. Of course, you have some people who are actually sick enough to say, "They're glad this happened." There's some sick people in this world. I just want to say this to any of you who actually cheered when that man got injured. I've got 2 words for you. Fuck you. Now, onto the game in hand. Dalton came in. We all know that name, Andy Dalton, long time Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. He came in and to lead the Cowboys to victory, and with a record of 2-3, Cowboys are leading the NFC East. So congrats to them. Elsewhere in the league, of course, Week 5 started with the Buccaneers and the Bears. And, of course, I relied on Brady and the Bucs to get the job done against the Bears, and that was a move that was known as mistake number 1. Because the game ended with Tom Brady having a senior moment and forgetting what down it is. All of a sudden, he turned to Grandpa and said, "4th down? I thought we were in the Super Bowl." Ugh. But again, Tom Brady continues to prove me right. This man cannot handle the NFC. He couldn't even beat the Bears. Everybody beats the Bears. Even the Lions would beat the Bears. The Bears are befuddled. Never mind the fact that they have a real quarterback for once with Nick Foles. The Bears are a mess. And they beat Tom Brady. He'll get killed by real teams. I said before, if he makes a Super Bowl, it'll prove he can handle the NFC. He may not make the playoffs. Now, the NFC South ended up tight because Carolina won their 3rd straight without Christian McCaffrey, and the Saints got locked up in a very tight Monday night game that went to overtime, but they actually escaped with a victory. So I think it's a 3-2 deadlock, a log jam between Tampa, New Orleans, and Carolina, where the poor Falcons, though, stand at the bottom at 0-5 because that's who the Panthers beat. But good news for ATL. Number 1, the Braves are almost in the World Series. And number 2, Dan Quinn and Dimitrioff, the GM, they're both gone. So long. Sayonara. The Chiefs suffered their first loss this season against the Raiders. Now, I shouldn't be surprised, but I am a little bit. I knew the game would be tight, but I didn't think the Raiders actually go in there and win. But they did it. So Vegas is 3-2, and the Chiefs got their first L of the season. The Steelers are still undefeated. They beat the Eagles, but it was closer than it should have been. With a new stars board and Chase Claypool, and he's Canadian, so that's him and Sidney Crosby, who are the 2 Canadian icons in the Steel City. The New York team, well, the Giants did lose. I said that before. But before that, the Jets lost, and Le'Veon Bell's gone. Yeah, he wanted a trade. Instead, they released him, and now he's signed by the Chiefs. Oh boy. Ravens won 27-3. I have to mention this because I read the defensive coordinator was mad at the Bengals for kicking that late field goal. Oh my God. Perfection. These borderline perfections. It's a field goal. Get over it. You still won. The Niners. Oh my goodness. The Niners got fried, dyed, and laid to the side at home by the Dolphins. Poor Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, take this number 12. Add 3.7. That was Garoppolo's quarterback rating. Just had a terrible game. 77 yards, I think 2 interceptions. And he was benched for C.J. Beathard, who actually delivered some points, but it was still not enough. So the Niners are 2-3. 3 losses. That's all they had last year. They've got that total now. Oh, boy. The Browns won their 4th in a row. They are red hot. They're for real. I'm happy for them. I really am, because a team like that doesn't deserve to suffer, even though they did Johnny Manziel wrong years ago. They still didn't deserve to suffer as long as they did. They're good again. That's great. And the Sunday night game, Seahawks and the Vikings. Now, there are actually Packer fans rooting for Minnesota because, well, we want to be the last undefeated team left. I I honestly had no rooting interest because to me it's a win-win. Either Seattle gets their first loss and we're the only unbeaten team, or the Vikings lose and we still get to laugh at them some more. The Vikings lost. The Vikings lost because they tried to get smart, but didn't work out. They were up 26-21. They were deep in the red zone, 14 inches. They decided to go for it, didn't get it. And this is how incompetent they are, they allowed Russell Wilson, who, again, as I said, where's number 3 because that's the highest number you can count to. They let him go 94 yards for a game-winning touchdown. So the Seahawks are 5-0, and they have a bye this week. And we actually got Tuesday Night Football because of the COVID positives affecting the schedule. And a battle of unbeatens turned into a rout. Tennessee beat the devil out of the Bills. So they're 4-0. So, to recap. Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Seattle, Green Bay. Those are all the unbeatens left. And that's my recap of Week 5. It was a great week for the most part. Sans what happened with Dak Prescott. It took me a while to process this. Like I said, I really like Prescott. I do. Great quarterback. Good guy for what I've seen of him. And I just wish him, every football fan wishes him a good recovery and he'll be back next season to kick ass. So again, it's because of the COVID affected schedule that there was no Thursday game. So Week 6 starts on Sunday, and here's some of the games: Patriots and Broncos. Now, I read there's another positive in the Patriots, though that may not affect the game. I think that game's gonna go as scheduled. Browns and Steelers. Is it nice to have a Browns-Steelers game in some part of the season where both teams are good? Ooh, man, that's gonna make the Browns-Steelers rivalry very good. It's usually one-sided. The Vikings and the Falcons, that's the toilet bowl. Another toilet bowl was Washington and the Giants. I think the Giants are going to win that game. I really do. I think the Giants get win number 1. I think the Falcons get win number 1. They should. Bears, the 4-1 Bears play the Panthers. Let's hope the Panthers make it 4 straight without Run CMC. One of the main events this week. It's an early game, but it's a 1:25 Pacific game, 4:25 Eastern. But it's on national television. The Battle of the Bays. The Battle of the 12s. The GOAT versus the Fraud. Packers and Buccaneers. Brady's going to get his. If you can't beat the Bears, you can't beat the GOAT. Plain and simple. Sunday night game is Rams and Niners. Rams will improve to 5-1. And 2 Monday night games because, again, COVID affected schedule. Chiefs Bills was originally supposed to be the Thursday game. It's on early Monday at 5 Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. And the original Monday night game is scheduled: Cardinals and Cowboys. Andy Dalton starting for Dallas. Dallas is at home and looking to get to 500. So that's what's in store for us in Week 6. That's my recap of Week 5. I will be back on YouTube to recap the LCS as soon as tomorrow, because we got a Game 7 in the American League and a Game 6 in the National League, so that could end tomorrow. So I'll recap that very soon before I recap Week 6. With that, I say I'll see you see you on YouTube probably tomorrow, and enjoy Week 6, football fans.